So here this is the login. Please remember your login ID is your last 7 digit of your student ID number, enrollment ID. Okay, last 7 digit. And password, initially your password is A capital U @123. Sorry, A capital U library, AU library @123. Okay, A is capital. If you log in, then you can search the resources. You can search by title, you can search by author, you can search by subject, you can search by anything. So here if you give the search term, it will pick up the resources. I will come into the part, don't worry, just I am giving you a little bit introduction about the interface. You see, here you can change your password. Once you log in, it will show your name. Okay, here you can change the password. Here is the due date. Due date means that is the issue date. From issue date to 14 days plus, that is the due date. So that will also, it will show in the computer. This is the renewal button. You can renew the books from online. Okay, if you just click on this tab and if you click renew all the books will be issued for another 14 days without reaching to the campus. Okay, if you see the resource, if you click the catalog, you will see it is the barcode, it is showing barcode. Okay, so this is the unique number assigned for each books. This is the book details, is the cover of that particular book. So here you can place hold. Suppose I have 3 copies of this particular book, all are in issue. Okay, so what you can do is you can reserve the book. So whenever it come back, you can get the book. Okay, and here for your information, when you are issuing any books, when you are returning any books, when you are renewing any books, or if it is getting crossed that overdue date, so you will get mail that please return the books, that book is going to be overdue by tomorrow. So you will get one alert mail from our library system, automatic mail system, so that you will aware you about the status of your issue. So please keep update your mail ID properly in this place. Here if you click your personal details, it will allow you to change your password. Okay, by email. Here actually all the email ID we have taken it from your enrollment form, admission form. So that may not be correct. If it is correct, it is fine. Otherwise, please update it. Many of the students, they have written down their parents' email ID. I suggest please create a mail ID if you do not have, and give your own ID here so that your parents will not get disturbed with your mails. So you will be getting your relevant mail in your mail ID. Okay. So library, already I said that library is online renewal facility you will get for the overdue books. You will get the automated alert mail. That if the book return date is tomorrow, tonight you will get one mail that tomorrow is the return date for so and so books, and you can take step accordingly. You can reserve the book online. Okay, I will come in that part. I have time also. This is the National Digital Library of India. National Digital Library of India is know that this is one of the richest resource now. All over the world, this is one of the richest resource. So it covers many things. It covers all the subject area, starting from the engineering, social science, law, management, everything it covers. Pharmaceuticals, life science, biotechnology. So you will get many resources from this National Digital Library of India website. Okay, so resource you will get from many places. You have to just spend your time. You have to concentrate in the portal. So how you can get access to it? So when you are coming first time, please register. I know that due to that smartphone era, that all are familiar with the different platform that you have to sign in. Okay. For you have to create your user ID and password. For user ID, they will ask you your email ID, and password is a 8-digit password you have to mention, and then after that captcha, that verification code, you have to present it. After that, you will be able to register. And when you are coming for that login, you just log in with your email ID and password, and all the platform, now you can search it. If I have time, I will come to that part quickly. I will show it to you how you can get that benefit. So now you know that now is the time for massive open online courses. There are, other than our TCS Ion Digital online platform, that will meet up your regular classes. Other than that, if you want to develop your knowledge, or if you want to undergo for any specialized courses, you can register in those portal, and you can get the certificate also. You can get specialized certificate. So here first, that is the platform, that is the government of initiative of Government of India. Here all the courses are open, you can register. Now at present there are more than 500 open courses where you can do the enrollment starting from any field, any subject area. So already I said that it covers from social science, literature, then law, then management, economics, engineering, computer science, everything it covers. So according to your choice, you can register and you can enroll in the portal. And here, what you can do is you have to attend the classes regularly. Okay. But the advantage is you can take the classes according to your time. Okay. All the courses will be available, and according to your free time, you can attend the courses. Okay. And you can just there are options, you can submit the assignments, and you can sit for exam. Okay. If you give the exam, so you will be getting certificate from SIAM, and that is one of the valid certificate. So that is like this way you can earn so many specialized certificate. So another one big platform is EPG Pathshala. EPG Pathshala, this is also again it is another government body, that is called InflibNet, that is the information and library network, but this is mainly useful for the PG students. All the PG students, those who are enrolled, you can get lot of resources. More than 800 books you will get from here. Okay. Plus, more than 1,000 courses you will get from that EPG Pathshala platform. You can enroll it and you can attend the classes according to your advantage, and you will get your certificate also. Another one platform, I think you have got this information also, that Adamas University is having that Coursera platform membership. So you can get specialized certificate. You can do the specialized courses from here. Again, the courses runs in weekly basis. That is about 12-week courses are available. Sometimes it's 8-week courses are available. You can just enroll the courses and you will be able to attend the class. You can submit the assignment and you can give the final exam also online. So the certificate you will get immediately. Okay. Now I am coming to the online platform. Already I said that. Okay, I will come to that platform quickly. So this is our library website. Please remember this: aulibrary.adamasuniversity.ac.in. Okay. So here you just scroll down. You see, this is our resources. Now this is our off-campus access. Okay. Off-campus access means generally the resources are available within the campus, but you can get access to our resources sitting at your home. You just click on this. So this is the portal. Suppose I am looking for a book for natural gas, or I am looking for a book on Python programming. You just Python for beginners, I am searching for, you just search. So you see lot of books now. You just see, you just click on this, only the ebooks. Actually, the platform will give you, including books, research article, reference materials, and many things. But you are looking for books. So just click on this option and wait for 1 minute. The portal will show you only the books. Okay. Now, if you want to read this book, you just click this button, PDF. Now you can read all books, full books chapter wise. Okay. You can download some pages. You can download about 10% of a book. Okay. So that also you can do from here. So chapter wise you can see the books. You see it is a simple PDF file. You can see it from outside the campus. Okay. So from your home, you just suppose if you are looking for artificial intelligence, you just say artificial intelligence. Or if I am looking for a books on thermodynamics, see only it is showing the books. Suppose you see here the books button has not come. It is not showing. You just click on show materials and click on ebooks. Okay. You just click on ebooks. Now you will be able to see only the 405 books available on thermodynamics. Okay. Now you can download that book. Here in this platform, we have access to 1,60,000 ebooks, online ebooks. So you can download part of the books. Okay. Otherwise, you can read online full books at any time from your home. I think everybody is clear with that platform. Now, those who are, this is the library catalog. I was telling about the library catalog, how you can check the library catalog. Already I said that you have to log in. Okay. So just I am logging in through this one. I am just trying to log in. I do not know if that student has changed the user ID and password. I cannot show it, but yes, you see here I am just issuing one books in against my name. After that you can see the reflection. I am just trying to show you how you can see your account. So when people comes to library, when you will be coming to the library, library staff will issue books against your name. Okay. There are many books which are reference book. You can't issue it. Already I said those are all only for the reading room. So you see, I have issued one book, another book I am issuing 9420. So I have issued two books against his name. Now you see, I am just refreshing the account. So you see, under Roshan Arab, there are two books now. Okay. So this is the return date. She has to return it on 21 January 21. Okay. So here is the Renu. Suppose if you want to, if it is overdue, no, this will be red. So now if you want to if you want to renew it, just click. If you want to renew both, you can renew all. And immediately, but you know that from today's date it will always count. So you have to take that opportunity at the end of this due date. So you will get the full facility. Okay. Now it is showing you see renewed. Okay. I have given privilege only for this user one time renewal. That's why it is not giving another one time renewal facility. So here you can change your personal details. Please be aware that when the library, physical library will be available, that your presence will be at campus. Every library generally they charge the fine for not returning the books on time. Okay. So here, if you do not return the books within time, per day fine is 5 rupees per book. So if you possess 6 books and all the 6 books cross their boundary, that allowable date, so per day 30 rupees fine will be charged. But not now. This is the pandemic period. Until or unless this pandemic gets over, we will not be charging any fines for anyone. Okay. So that is the now relax period. You can change your password from here. I recommend all of you, I request all of you, please change your first time password. We have given the default password AU library at the rate 123. Again I am repeating AU library at the rate 123. A is capital here. Okay. So here this is your portal. You just go one by one, you will get a lot of things. Now I am looking for a book. I am looking for a book on leadership. Okay. You just click leadership and just click on leadership. In your broad view, just I am telling you, just for your information, I am telling you Central Library, they keep all kind of books. You will get all subjects coverage here. Okay. But when you will be going to the engineering library, so you will be getting only the resources in the field of engineering and technology and computer science. When you are visiting to law and liberal arts, you will be getting books for the law and liberal arts subjects. When you are going to the pharmacy library, only the resources with the biotechnology and the life science resources and the pharmaceutical resources you will get from pharmacy library. So before coming to library, before deciding your mind, please check where the book is available. Just if you click here, it will show you the library details. See where it is showing? The law library. Sometimes it is showing Central Library. Okay, so where you have to go? Suppose you are law student. So you have to go to the law library only because it is very near to you. You can just visit to law library and take your books. Otherwise, if all the law libraries books are already issued, you can come to Central Library and you can get the books. Okay. I was telling about the reservation. If all the books are issued, okay, what you have to do? You have to click on place hold. But the condition is all the books should be in issue. Okay. Once you click it on place hold, because no, it is not allowing all the books are available at present in library. If the books are already issued, nothing is available inside the library. So this option will work. If you click with the login, your books will be reserved in your against your name. As soon as the books comes, you will get mail that please collect the book, and that within 24 hours you have to collect the book. If the books comes on Saturday, you have to take it on Monday. Okay. So like this way, we have many library already. I said you can check the library resources one by one, or if you want to check all the library at a time, you can just select all library and type your subject area. Sorry. So this is about the library catalog. You can search the book. So again, I am going to your portal. Already I said that library sometimes they during normal day we charge fine for the late return of books, but you will be able to know how much is your fine and what for. You just click your fine button, you will be able to see the fine amount. Okay. The advantage, yeah, the action is you have to return the books and you have to pay the fines at library for opening your account. Okay, until or unless you clear your account, you pay the fine, your account will be blocked. Okay, here another one things, this is the all e-learning resource link, because it is not possible for you to remember the exact URL of any resource. So you have to, suppose you are looking for you have to attend one e-learning course. How to do it? You just go to TCS and digital platform and you log in. So you will be in the digital learning platform. So if you want to go to Swayam MOOCs platform, you just click NPTEL, you just click Swayam Prabha, you click here. If you are looking for, if you are interested in reading the COVID-19 related information, you can read it from your home. Okay. So there are amazing informations are available with the from different resources, Stringent Nature, Science Direct, different elsewhere. So many things are available. You can get resources, you can read with your interest, you can develop your knowledge. Okay, this will be very much interesting for the students who are mainly in the life science area, biotechnology area, and pharmaceutical area. Here, you know, our National Digital Library, National Library Kolkata, what they have done is they have given access to many resources. See, those who wants to read various novels from Rabindranath Tagore, if you want to read the poetry, you can get access to it. You just click and view open. You see, this is the 1805 publication. Okay, these are so old, rare books. You can read it from your home. Okay, I am accessing the National Library of Kolkata. I am not going to National Library Kolkata, but getting access to the resources sitting at Adamas University. Okay, so you will get lot of resources from here. So those who are mainly from the literature field, you will get many resources from this portal. So there are many other resources. You can get rare books, you can get lot of ebooks from here. There are many resource links are available. And this is the library catalog. Already I said, just I am giving you the brief introduction. This is the thesis writing, anti-plagiarism. This is the Urkund actually that will come later on, and this is not useful for you now, but that is the actually academic honesty, academic integrity. Yeah, everybody should maintain their honesty academically. So those who are publishing the articles and all this, so they should maintain their integrity and honesty. So that is library timings. You will get the library rules there in the PowerPoint presentation. So the small things were mentioned, but here it is the more details. You just follow these things and you will be able to know many things. So library timings also here, if we are changing the library timings anytime, so that will be reflected here. So that is all from my side, and from library aspect. Now, if you have any question, please raise your hand, or if you can put your question in the chat box. So now with me, Mr. Ritesh Chatterjee, who is our one of the giant in the IT side. So he is the main equipment who is implementing our transforming our Adamas University's technology side. Okay, he is very much expert in the e-learning side, e-lab, this virtual lab development and all this. So now over to Ritesh. Ritesh, if you could cover now your start your presentation. Ritesh?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for your kind introduction. If it's okay, I'll start with screen sharing. Right. Thank you so much, sir, once again. And a very good morning to everyone present here. Today, we are going to have a short discussion on the various way we are going to conduct lab classes online. As you would understand, given the post-COVID scenario, conducting of lab classes has been one of the challenging aspects for any educational institute at the moment, because it's something that requires you to actually gain a hands-on experience, see how the things are working, interact with the environment, and I mean, that's how the learning goes on. And this interaction part becomes very vital in the course of lab, because you're actually trying out various things and you're seeing that where you can go wrong. You have to understand the precautions that you go for a lab class. When you go for a lab class that has certain risks associated with it, for example, the chemistry lab would always have certain risks associated with it when the chemicals are involved. Um, uh, a mechanical lab might have certain risks associated with it, given certain instruments. An electrical lab might have electricity hazard that's associated with it. So precautions are very important, and how you go about it. One of the other aspects of an actual lab class is that you get to interact with a technical assistant who has been working in the industry and get his inputs on the principles you're trying to explore with the experiment. Keeping all that in mind, we have built a platform that is going to be used for online laboratory classes. Just one thing before we begin, I think there are a few raised hands that's related to the session that we had earlier with Ranjan sir. Uh, we will just skip that for now, and maybe sir can help you out with the answers at the end of the session. And also, I've enabled the chat option, so I'm going to try and ask questions, and it would be the best if you could get to interact. I mean, that's how we can make the best of the session. So what's there for today's agenda? So we are going to discuss very brief on the various areas of digitization and IT transformation that's happening in the Adamas University. We have a product called AU Smart Labs. It's a platform that you're going to use. This is mostly relevant to students from the STEM background, science, technology, and engineering background, and the various labs they're going to undertake. But we are going to have a tour of the platform nevertheless. We're going to see various features the platform has to offer as of now, and how we can do the basic day-to-day operations that the students would be requiring in order to in order to attend online laboratory classes. We are going to work on on an experiment. We are going to have an actual experiment that we have built on how to make hand sanitizer, and we are going to see how we are going to learn that with the help of this platform. We are going to have a very brief introduction to our team and how you can reach us. Coming to the areas of digitization, as you have already seen in the session on blended learning, you were introduced to the TCS Iron LX platform. Ranjan sir before me right now was also talking about the TCS Iron LX platform. So the entire course delivery mechanisms, the content of the course, and the things you're expected to study for the completion of your course would be pushed in the TCS Iron LX platform, from where you can access your content. A blended learning model approach would be followed more or less throughout all subjects wherever that is applicable, to not just enhance the learning mechanisms, but also actually help utilize the technology and skills of self-learning. As you would know, these days in the industry, it is one of the most important skills in the industry right now to have is a skill to learn new things. So, for example, when we work every day, it is like uh, we uh, we have to learn, we have to come up with topics, we have to work on subjects which are quite new, and we have to come up and learn things up. So this developing of this skill to learn new things is a very important side, which with the help of the blended learning module, as you have seen earlier, would be implemented with the help of the TCS and LX platform. You can have the online examinations from the comfort and safety of your homes. It's understandable that given the current scenario, it's very risky going for an examination. So that's one of the places that we have been working on since the post-COVID scenario. We have been using Microsoft Teams for conducting our regular classes. Some of you might already be used to it because your departmental sessions are being conducted over Microsoft Teams most probably. And that's something you can use not just to have video classes, but also have some forms of interaction during the class. And Microsoft Teams, along with the TCS Analytics platform, would work for something for the blended learning platform that you will be using, or the blended learning model that you will be using. And of course, the main focus of today's session, the virtual lab classes using AU Smart Labs. Now, while we were working on the AU Smart Labs, one of the main section, one of the basic divisions that we were working on is the students who are studying subjects like mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, some course under the School of Pharmacy, they would be more going in for experiments that are hand-on. So for them, we have something called, so for the AU part, we are going to use interactive video features for Smart Labs. And for code editor, we are going to have a code editor version for the computer science students. Now, instead of going through these screens, let's jump straight ahead in the platform and start seeing what it looks like and getting a feel of it. Right. So if you can see my screen, this is the platform that we are going to be using for our online lab classes. The URL is smartlabs.adamasuniversity.ac.in. There is a sign-in button. We understand that probably by now you have been introduced to a lot of platforms, a lot of sign-ins, and a lot of user ID and passwords. So to keep this simple, we are using Microsoft-based authentication. So right now, if you see, my Outlook is already logged in. So I will not have to actually log in again. If I just click on the sign-in button, I'm taken straight to the platform. But if you're if you're logging into the platform for the first time, or your Microsoft email ID is not logged in, you would be taking into a login page where you would have the Microsoft login page, similar to what you use in Outlook. And over there, you have to put in your university email ID and the password you use to access that university email ID. You will need to grant this application a certain set of permissions. So pop-up will come up on screen that will say there's grant permissions, something that you're used to when you work on phones these days, where you're trying to log in using Facebook or try to log in using Twitter. You see that permission screen that pop up that asks you that if you actually want to log into this website. So you mark that yes, and you get in over here. So right now my email ID is already logged in, so I could directly just come in. If I just press the sign in, I land on this page. Now this page that you're seeing would be a slightly different for the students. So this is more like of the faculty view. The difference that you would find is this option called scheduled classes will not be there in your windows. And this option called schedule classes will not be there in your window as well. Right, I have received a few chat messages over here. And just one thing I want to point out before I move forward, that this is not the TCS Iron portal. So this portal is completely separate from your TCS Iron portal. The login ID and the password you use for your TCS Iron portal is something completely different as well. And the login ID and the password you used for the blended learning sessions, they are not your permanent TCS Iron ID. So if you cannot log in using them right now for TCS Iron, Please ignore the issues because those accounts have been disabled. And you will get your permanent TCSIN IDs, your personalized TCSIN IDs that you would be using for the next few years during your stay at Adamus University. Coming back to this platform, so this platform works with your Microsoft login credentials, the email ID login credentials that you use, that you have received from the university. And once you log in, you land on this dashboard page. So there are three things that's primarily we are going to see and focus on in this place. One is this tab called experiments, this one over here on the top. The other one called code editor and scripts. And the number three is this option where we can type in a class ID and join a class. Now let's go for the experiment section. Now this experiment section, if you click on it, you will find different departments associated with it. The experiment section is the one that mostly all the students would be using for lab experiments when they do not require anything that's related to coding. For the coding, they are going to go either to the code editor or the scripts option. But for now, let's stick to the experiment section. So as you can see right now on this platform, we have one experiment under civil engineering, one under mechanical, one under electrical, and of course we have something called forceps. Now we are going to come to this one later on. Now this is something I would request you to try out yourself. And we are going to see one of these videos for now and see how interactive videos can be helpful in understanding a lab class. We are all used to having, we are all used to going to YouTube and Coursera and studying with the help of various online learning management platforms that gives us certain levels of control or interaction over the content that we are seeing. But it is something similar, but we have a bit more interaction. It has been designed in a way that would actually help you. I'll just go back. Yes. So this was a screen we were working on. Now, if you see, we have a theory section. So we are seeing experiment under the electrical engineering department, load characteristics, DC motor. We have a theory section. We have an apparatus section, certain images that are associated with this. The procedure, post-analysis, something you can discuss about after the exam, after seeing the experiment. And a frequently asked question section. This is something you can go over maybe right before your exam, or just go over it to give it a look and find out the top important point that you might have a question regarding. Once you're done more or less reading this part, you would have to go and click the watch experiment button. Now, when you do that, a new tab opens up. Now, this new tab is basically what would be your interactive video session. Just one point, I understand that electrical engineering and load characteristics of DC motor is not something everyone would be interested in. But the point of this right now is to give you a feel of the platform and the different options that you would get to interact with on the platform. So that helps you. Okay, we are going to click on start the course. Now, this is an electrical lab on load characteristics of a DC motor. We're going to click on the proceed. And here the video starts off.
Today, we are going to perform the experiment on DC series motor. And this is the series motor. And the name of the experiment is load torque characteristics on DC series motor.
Before we proceed, I'll just ask you guys a quick question. Can you hear the audio of this video? Is that audible to you? Could you just write a yes or no in the chat box to help us understand? Perfect. So I'm assuming more or less most of the students are getting the audio. In case you're not getting, given the fact that some students are getting, and I think you might want to check your audio connections once, but otherwise the audio is audible. Right. Now let's proceed. So you see this proceed icon on top. So once a certain section of the experiment gets covered and it stops in the C, you need to click the proceed to go to the next section. Now we are going to understand the theory section of this one right now.
We are now going to discuss the theory portion of DC series motor. This is 2-point stutter. In this 2-point stutter, we have two points. One is L, another one is the A. From A terminal, first we connect a ammeter. After that, a series field is connected. From series field, we connect the armature circuit. Then a wire is returning to the MCB negative terminal. This one is the positive terminal of MCB. This one is the
Right. And given the fact that we are not exactly interested in learning the experiment right now, we will skip over certain parts and go to the interaction section as to where you have to actually interact with the system. So we have come to the end of the theory portion over here.
this equation as E proportional to I square.
Now this question comes up. What is the full form of DC in DC motor? Can anyone put the answer over here for me to answer? So what is the full form? Which option is it? Is it dividend current or direct current? Right. We have an answer from Diptaroop and Ayush and Abhinandan and some others saying direct current. We are going to go with that and check. This is the correct option and we are going to continue. Now, since this section is over, I'm going to proceed over to the next section.
That is why Sigma started series motor without. This is the reason. After that, you can write E proportional to 5 into IA. This is the after saturation level. Now, you can tell me why voltmeter always connected in parallel?
Right. Now, would anyone like to make any guess as to what this answer might be? Anyone? Just write down your answers in the chat box if you want to let me know. So, honorable answer is point option number one, option number one. Right. So, more or less everyone's convinced it's option number one. Now, let's go for the incorrect option and see what it's like. Now, you see, it says that my answer is incorrect, and it gives me a reason as to why the answer is incorrect. Now, I can retry giving the correct answer by pressing the retry button and then going to the correct option and then clicking on continue. Going ahead to the next section.
When we are doing practical with DC series motor, always keeping that mega start motor without load and the maximum armature current value is 5 ampere and rated voltage value is 230 volts. Is it in series?
Right. Now, the answer to this one, why is ammeter connected in series? Any quick answers? Which option would it be? Option one or option two? Right. Let's go for option two and see what happens. This is an incorrect answer. The ammeter is always connected in series because of its low resistance. If one connects it in parallel, then all circuits will flow. I'll just continue with the incorrect answer for here now.
Now, let's have a look to this circuit diagram question. This is the series field. We know that and the amount of current flowing to it can be written as I suffix AC. AC stands for series field. Now, if I place, you can tell me.
Right. So we have another interactive question over here, and this is again an incorrect answer. If I click on source solution, I can understand that this is the correct one. I'm going to continue with this one. And we are going to proceed over to the next section again. Now it prompts me if I want to continue with the rest of the experiment or rewatch the theory module. If I want to rewatch, the video will tell me back again and start over again the entire theory section that we have been going through. I'll just click on I want to continue with the rest of the experiment. So we have an option over here for apparatus and device used.
Today, we'll do experiment on DC series motor. This one is the DC series motor.
So as you understand, so that different components are getting explained at the moment and with certain titles. I'll proceed over to the next section. So I want to continue with the rest of the experiment. This prompts up again. And we have the circuit diagram.
Start the circuit diagram.
Now, as you understand, like given the fact that we are not exactly learning the experiment, I'm hoping everyone has got an understanding of the different types of options you're going to get. Can I get a yes or no from you guys, please? Perfect. I'm going to close this one right now, given the fact huge amount of you have got an idea of the platform. What I would ask you to do or encourage you to do is to actually log into this platform and try watching one of these experiments. So I'm going to show it step by step what I'm expecting you guys to give it a try right now. So you're going to go to smartlabs.adamasuniversity.ac.in. Before you click the sign in button, make sure that this page is properly loaded. If need, just press an F5 or Control F5 and wait for that entire page to properly reload before going in for the sign in button. This is the URL you are supposed to go to, smartlabs.adamasuniversity.ac.in, SMART, smart labs labs.adamasuniversity.ac.in. Once you go there, this page opens up, wait for it to load. In case you want to refresh it before clicking the sign in button, you can try that, but wait for the page to completely load before clicking on the sign in button. Now, once you click on the sign in button, for me, it will take me directly to the login page. But for you, it will prompt up a window, or it will prompt up it will take you to the Microsoft server where you have to put in your official university mail ID and password. If you do that and grant yes to the permissions it's asked for, it lands you on this page. The logging in should be simple because it's quite similar to your Outlook login. If you're confused, you can just open a tab and log into Outlook at first, and then come to this website. And if you just click on login, it will automatically log you in. Go to the experiment section on top under forceps. Click on forceps. Under that, there's something called creating a homemade sanitizer. There are a lot of things written down. You are more than welcome to have a read through them. But what I would like you to give a try is click on that watch experiment button and try out this experiment. So this is experiment, right? So I can see there are a few students who have successfully logged in already. Right, a few of you are having questions as to what is exactly the link of the Smart Labs website. I'll just type it down in the chat box for you. Right, I'll just request everyone to just stop sending me message for a couple of minutes so that everyone can see the URL that I've put in over here. Just for a couple of minutes should be fine. And then you can come to this experiment. So I want to continue with the rest of the experiment. I want to watch the theory portion again. I'm going to go for continue. So these are the materials that we are using. Yes, please note that you're only to perform this experiment under professional supervision because certain chemicals are involved, which you need to take care of a bit and be careful while using them. Right, and this is where the video actually for the experiment starts off. I'm going to leave you at here. I'm not going to go through this entire experiment. I would encourage you to try it out on your free time. This experiment would be there for you trying out. And just on a slightly different note, please note that this is not exactly the experiment that we're expecting you to try it out at home. This is just for the purpose of the demonstration. And so if you plan to try this out at home, please talk to someone who's actually experienced in this one, and someone who can guide you through it with proper precautions and everything. So we're going to skip this for now. Right, so people are still having an issue with the link. I'm going to type it out once again. It is Smart Labs, SMARTLABS .adamusuniversity.ac.in. Indranil, in case you're getting error, it's probably because it didn't load fine. Just press F5, let it load once, and then try logging in. It should work for you. Right, now I'll just briefly go over to the other sections of the website. So this is our dashboard. Now for computer science students, when you're participating in lab classes, your faculty members or teaching assistants would provide you with a class ID. You need to put in that class ID over here and click on join. And once you're done, it won't effectively show a lot of changes on your screen. It will just show that you have joined the class. And then what you would require to do is to go to the code editor and try out your coding over here. So you have an option for quite a few languages over here. In case there are engineering students who are working with compilers and stuff, you might want to put in some compiler option, or if you're working with command line arguments, you can put in over here. If you can run the code, and this is what we are going to refer as file title maybe. So when you get the emails from your faculty members, it would show you, it would provide you with a list of experiments that you're expected to perform during a lab session. And there would be a title for them. So you put in the title over here, choose the language, and type in your code over, type in your code over here. This is a place for your inputs. This is a place for your standard output, error, compile, and sandbox. I'll just quickly have a simple code that I'm going to run over here. So this is a very easy hello world code written in C. So if you see, if I run it, it says hello world over there. I'm going to make a compilation error. So there is nothing called green native. So it's supposed to show me an error. If I run the program now, and if you see in the compile output section, I can see that there has been an error that has been put in. Similarly, I can use some command line arguments. This platform would be, you would get a lot of chance, computer science students to go through this platform and try it out. In the meantime, if you want to try this out at home, even without a class, you are more than welcome to try it out. This is a coder's window. You would understand that it keeps tabs and helps you with the formatting and highlighting. You can arrange the window according to your ease and whatever you find useful and helpful. Let's call this one as forceps demo code. If I'm saving this, and if I go to my scripts section, I can find out all the previous scripts that I've written down and when I did. Now, one of the advantages of coding on this platform during the class is when you enter the class ID and join it. So any program that you write during the course of the class, it will be visible to your faculty member as per the current update as to what you're coding, and they can see that and they can edit it and help you out. So this would probably be used in a link with Microsoft Teams, where you're going to have a video session as well as you're going to use the coding platform over here, and you can share, exchange the code, and get help from your faculty members. This is quite a new platform that we have been working on, that we have developed, and there would be more features that we are going to add to this platform and keep on updating as per requirements and ease of use. So hopefully you're going to get a few pleasant surprises over your course of study and the different platforms you're going to use for this purpose. Yes, Aheli asked me if this lab is only for engineering students. Aheli, it's not exactly for engineering students. So this is a part that would be used predominantly by all the subjects that falls under the STEM category that has a practical laboratory class. Other departments might plan to use it for different purposes. I am not sure which department you're from, but you can have a word with the department and see how you're going to use the platform. Any of these platforms, when you're using it, you will be provided with appropriate help and support from our team. Also, you will be provided with appropriate support from the department, since they're going to guide you through every step of anything that new that comes up and you have to use. Right now, students who are still having issues logging into Smart Labs, I'll just ask you to not stress over it, give it a try. In case you're having issues during when your laboratory classes start off, I'm pretty sure you will we can provide you with help documents and maybe a few training sessions and stuff. And we're always here to help you out, so it won't be a problem. But for now, just give it a try and see, have a feel of the platform, and try out that, watch that experimental video that we were talking about under the experiment section under faucets, and hopefully you will enjoy the interactive video section. Right, if you are putting in your Adamas University password and it's asking you to update your password, then it's probably an issue with your email ID password. So we can drop me an email later on and we can look into it. Right, coming back to the presentation. Mopia, if you want to use this site to see the videos and see the experiments, you are more than welcome to. Because in Adamas University, we are a community where we encourage learning, but I'm not exactly sure that you will find relevant content over there. And if you want to use the programming platform to try out any of the programming languages we are offering over there, you're more than welcome to try that out as well. You will have access to this platform, but I'm not exactly sure that your department will be using this platform for any kind of predominant work, but you're more than welcome to try it out as well. So talking about our team, what are the kind of things that we work on as a team is we work on IT transformation and digitization, as that said. So with the onset of the COVID, shifting the entire thing to the entire in-person interaction classes to the online system, helping out the students to get used to it, providing technical support for online platforms and exams and some analytic work. But what we can help you with includes something like if you're having technical issues using TCS, you're more than welcome to contact us. We will be happy to help you out. If you're having technical issues with technical support for Adamas University Smart Labs, of course, we are there to help you out. Again, if you're having technical issues regarding online examination, we are there. Any other kind of technical issues that you are facing, which are generic in nature, but that's something that affects your day-to-day activities in university, we are more than happy to help out with that as well to the best of our abilities. In case you guys want to reach our team, you can do that. You can drop me an email at ritesh.chatterjee@techverita.com, or for technical issues, you can drop us an email at tcsi.alex.helpdesk@adamasuniversity.ac.in. Now, the second one is for issues only, and the first one is if you're having any kind of queries, this is a direct email of mine, you can reach me over here. This is something we help out with issues. So if you're having a technical issue, I'll urge you to drop an email at tcsi.alex.helpdesk. Even if it is regarding Smart Labs, I know it might feel a bit confusing given the name, but any kind of technical issues you want to report or need help with, put it over here in tcsi.alex.helpdesk. We have a ticketing system associated with it, which helps us serve you quicker and help you resolve your problems quicker. That's it, more or less the end of our session, and thank you so much. I think I have a question over here from Devjyoti Acharya, and he says from BSc Economics Honors. So can I sign in? Yes, you can sign into this platform. Definitely, all the students have sign-in access to this platform, and you can. But I'm not exactly sure how much your department will be using it. So I'm a student from BTech in Biotech. Why I'm asking you. Yes, Aheli, so if you're a BTech student and you're a biotech student, you will probably have a lot of laboratory classes. So I'm expecting your department would be using this platform. And if your department, and if you require details as to exactly what usage it will be having, something you'll have to contact your department for. But right now, I'll just suggest that you can all just relax and give a look at the platform, regardless of your engineering student or not. And when there are content that are actually applicable directly to your course, they will be uploaded. Your department or the respective faculty member will get in touch with you. Everyone is aware that these platforms getting used to be online is new and might be a bit challenging. So we are always here to help. Any kind of questions, feel free to reach us, email us, or you can ring us up if you feel it. Right. So with that, we are going to conclude this session on library and lab classes.